Land lovers, it's me, your Captain Vasco speaking. Hi, hello, and welcome. It's Friday again. Can you believe it? 7 days later, it's Friday again. Has anyone heard of this? This time it is Friday, May 22nd, 2026. Boy, May sure is going hard and fast, I guess. So reminder to those who have been away for a while or in and out and maybe missed the announcements, but I am doing a bonus stream next Saturday, May 30th, from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern. And I will be showing off a game called Slime in the Ice Machine as part of Cerebral Puzzle Showcase. I still have not received information from them about how this works. I was hoping to have that by now, since technically the Puzzle Fest starts on like Thursday of next week. So when they were sort of like a week out, we would give that information. I kind of figured by now I'll figure it out. Hopefully, if I don't have anything by Monday, I'm gonna reach out. We'll figure it out, which I think I just said. But the point is that there will be a solution, because it wouldn't be much of a cerebral puzzle showcase if there weren't. Do you see what I did there? Just briefly, the Cerebral Puzzle Showcase is a streaming festival of sorts to showcase the fact that puzzle games are great. As far as I understand it, that's really like mainly what's going on. I don't think it's driven by any particular game developer or group of game developers or anything along those lines. I think it's just that people, we live in an age of like action games and Souls likes and stuff, and they're like, hey, you know what? These puzzle games have been around a while. They're still great, and some of them are made by great indie developers as well. I have a new plush on the desk. No, it's just one I don't display very often, and if you remind me later, I'll demonstrate why. This is I assume you're talking about the Riggs plushie that came from Makeshift. Makeshift is like the third party plush company that like seems to be friends with like indie game devs as well. And so this is probably my favorite character from Cobalt Core, which was like a roguelike game that I really enjoyed. And so when they did a plush of Riggs, I was like, you know what, I should get that. But I mean, just to summarize, I mean, it's cute that the head is big and the body is small, SMOL, and all that. It does make it a challenge to display, or and particularly to like conceal things behind it reliably without it like falling over or something. But it's like fine. It's fine. It's good friend anyway. Zachary says, I don't even play video games anymore. I'm too busy painting and playing with my little plastic war dolls. I I I enjoy the fact that you continue to describe the hobby in like increasingly like self-deprecating ways, mostly because like I feel like that's the sort of thing I do. I feel like if the whole like children's card game concept hadn't entered the zeitgeist through Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series, I probably would have innovated some very similar space for my card collecting hobby. Hey, congrats on the 3 stream streak, Sarah. I'm still not really sure how Twitch streaks work. It seems like alchemy and dark math are involved. Those, I believe, are two distinct evil sciences. I would not encourage anyone to dabble in dark math. It has cute big eyes. It does. I mean, it's a very accurate representation, like right down to the body proportions of the character from Cobalt Core. Because like all the characters in Cobalt Core, like I think they appear like, no, in the flashbacks I think you see their like full body, but like most of the game you see them like communicating with each other through like essentially like uh like zoom windows. They're on like different parts of your spaceship and like communicating with one another in like a Star Fox style picture video box. Rip the 40 plus stream streak. My condolences, Akila. I'm sorry to hear it. uh, I will say this for future reference to the I'm pretty sure 0% of you who care. Uh, I was like I've been watching a little bit more live Twitch than I typically tend to. Um, and as a result, like Twitch started like prodding me that I had like a streak for like a particular streamer who I got like a gift sub to. And if I like don't watch on a day that one of their streams happens, they're like, "Hey, watch a stream or a VOD in the next 24 hours or your streak dies." But like if you watch a VOD, apparently that does fix it, which is weird. Just have to convince Vasco to get into it. Well, I got to listen. I love my brother. He recently made like an extremely bad pitch to get me interested in Warhammer 40,000. If I recall correctly, you need 15 minutes. That sounds about right. I would have estimated like 10, but like 15 is probably realistically correct. But like I think it was like around Mother's Day. My brother had like reached out to me and was like looking for some insight on like what he might do for our mother because believe it or not, my brother and I have the same mother. Can you believe this? And somehow instead of like initiating that conversation with, you know, the lead of like, hey, I'm interested in figuring out something to do for our mom for Mother's Day, the holiday for moms. Uh, he like first was like, "You ever play Warhammer?" And I was like, "No." I mean, I know a little bit about Warhammer 40,000 through the combination of like Magic the Gathering did a crossover with them at one point, and also like a podcast, like an actual play podcast I follow, did like a TTRPG version of Warhammer, and so they did some episodes of that. But like, yeah, I don't really know much about it. And then he's like, ah, so you like know things about the Lord? Then like you should guess what faction I would play. And I'm like, this feels, this I don't like. I don't know how to describe this. This feels like a trap. This feels like you know that like weird meme. I don't know if it's new. I feel like I only have heard about it in the last like year or something. But the meme of like one's like significant other asking them some like inane question of like, would you still love me if I was a worm, and then getting like super upset basically no matter how you answer. Like that's how it felt like it was going down. And that is how it was going down because like I was like, I don't really know, like maybe the Space Marines, because I feel like you were always into kind of like straight military tactics stuff when we were younger, like when you were in high school and stuff. um and then he like asked me like what I would play, and I was like, I don't know, like the uh the like the Necrons like have a cool vibe to them. But like one of the characters I like from the Magic the Gathering crossovers apparently considered a Tyrannid in some like esoteric way I don't fully understand. So like probably one of those. And then he like swore at me as if I had offended him. And I don't know what I did wrong. So I guess the answer is I'm not sure how I'd feel about my brother if he was a worm. Is the takeaway from the story. That sounds like 40K. In what way? But yeah, how is everybody doing? Um, I gotta tell you, I don't have a lot going on, man. Oh, the complication. Yeah, that's fair. Cause like I don't know. My understanding is that the Tyranids were all like just like quasi insectoid, just like eating machines, just like weird kind of mutated like aliens that just eat. But like the dude I like, whose name is like Gearson Starn, is like a guy with 3 arms. So like I wouldn't have pegged him as like a mutated. I mean, I guess he has 3 arms. I don't know. Like whichever ones are like space orcs. Oh, and think red ships go faster because they're red. I forgot that's like a real thing, isn't it? That they like believed that and then somehow they like made it true, I think is the way that works. Or is it just that like people was it that the fan base decided that the orcs thought that was true and then they like made it canonically true? I heard something about this, the red ship thing. Waiting for Tuesday and the fires I'll have to put out not being here for today. I mean, that is how it goes, huh? I will say that we like I think I mentioned this like briefly not that long ago, but like we had a change to our like work procedure like within the last 2 months, and like there's like good and bad to it, but one of the things that is nice is that it it does cut down on like issues cropping up taking like a day off, because like it used to be that they like wanted us to set like a deadline when we like first asked for paperwork and then set a second deadline later, and the short version of that is that doesn't make any sense, because if there's two deadlines then one of them like straight up doesn't matter, and I don't know why my manager like really pushed for that system and then later acted like he was solving a problem that he didn't create when he decided to push for the change. um but like, yeah, I mean, it used to be the case that there were like two sets of like deadlines that could fall on a day when you're off, and then like there was like one single time ever where like I like pushed like one of those deadlines out a day because like I knew I was going to be gone on like a Monday or something, and my like boss like got like weirdly upset about it, and then like instituted some rule where like if you were gone for a day you'd have to tell your boss what like all the deadlines were, and it's like this sucks for everyone. I don't know what you're doing. Like calm down and just like let the day happen. Let the 1 day extension happen for like the one thing and just like be chill. Like I don't know what's happening or why. Exactly. It says, "Would you still love me if I was a worm?" Said God Emperor Leto II to Duncan, Idaho. I know just enough to appreciate that joke and no more. Absolutely no more. Um, but yeah, one thing worth noting on the subject of time. So I do hope that in some way the upcoming bonus stream compensates for like some time missed in the recent past of regular stream schedule. Um, but it is the case that like tonight's probably going to tend towards a shorter stream. It's not like the one earlier in the month that was like 2 hours and we're out, fam. This is more just like got kind of an early morning, don't feel 100%, and yeah, so like instead of like pushing to do like one more thing, it's probably like if we like finish close to time, it's like we're good. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll play more of this. I bought all of the Golden Idol stuff. After doing the one stream, I was like, listen, I was very mad about that one thing, and I stand by it. It's very stupid. It's very, very bad puzzle design. Don't do that. If those of you watching at home, don't deliberately make an important part of your puzzle bad for no reason. Don't do that. Um, but yeah, I do also have Monday off for Memorial Day, and boy, I sure don't want to do anything. It's been really stressful. Like I don't remember the last time I've had a normal week. Now, to be clear, uh almost everything that's been outside the norm of the schedule has been like a good thing that I've had fun doing. But I also am a creature of habit, and it sucks to just like not have my routine for like basically 5 weeks. It's killing me a lot. It's killing me some non-zero amount. Although I think a bigger part of that truly is that like work has been like really aggressively unpleasant for a consistent period of time. Um, yeah, I had a really, what is a normal week in the year 2026? Listen, normal is a relative term to begin with, so I'm not gonna get into your esoteric discussion, Zacula, because I will just drown in the swamp and never return, and it won't help any of us, and it won't be a particularly fun conversation. Um, but what I will say is that like um for like most of the past like 90 days, just like people that I have to like coexist with in working relationships have just chosen violence at like every opportunity. Um, and one of my favorite examples of that in recent history is came from this week when like someone like people are constantly just like messaging me like 5 minutes before the end of my day with some like incredibly involved question that would involve like an hour of research. It's like, please stop doing that. um but like someone did that, and then like when I like had time to look into it like at the start of the next morning, like she'd written me this question in this way that like didn't provide like a lot of information, but she was like basically upset that like she felt that like the number of like spots that her radio station was airing for our services was like not correct in some way. And she like uh provided to me like two calculations for like two different stations of like how many spots should be airing. And then uh like I looked over everything and I was like, well, that math seems correct. As annoying as it is to do, you have signed up for like a billion services, and you literally have over 80 minutes of spots per day for just this like one specific thing you're asking about. It's just spread up in like a really, really, really confusing, annoying way. And then I was like, I don't know what. I mean, the numbers match, so I don't know what she's upset about. And then I realized that like um so barter contracts in radio are done by minutes, which is to say that you will sign like a 14-minute contract, and that means that in exchange for whatever thing you get, you're 2 minutes of spots per day. I'm pretty sure this is fairly standard for radio barter. I don't think this is a specific thing to us at all. Um, but after like doing all of this like tedious calculation and review of like all these disparate details that was like not fun at all to do, I realized that she like simply forgot that like not all commercials are exactly a minute long, and that she was airing more than like 80 spots per day because like some number of them were like 30 seconds, which means that like just if that happens even one time, then you're airing more spots than the minutes you're contracted for. Is like the most basic like logical problem you could have, and it's something that like I wouldn't even have like considered to have to explain to a person if it hadn't literally come up. And that took like a whole hour out of a day, was this question based on like a really arbitrary and confounding uh like incorrect base principle. And that's like a medium nuisance problem. There's been a lot worse and a lot more of them, but I feel like that really indicates what it's been like, where it's like I'm trying to get my work done, and then someone basically asked me if I would love them if they were a worm, and then I'm like, the answer is that minutes do not equal spots. Ocean says, we've had to multiple times remind our manager that if we're past 5 p.m. Or within 10 minutes of that, messages might not get to us. You mean like same day? Yeah. Yeah. Zacula says, I think you should be allowed to tar and feather 3 coworkers per year if they're bad. I mean, that seems really generous. I feel like you have to scale that to your work environment, because like I think I only need like two at most, and that's like a disproportionately large like number of adjacent. No, I got a third. I could do three, but it would affect a lot, you know. It's mostly all of the Warhammer talk. The main just is Vasco, no Warhammer. I mean, it's more like I already have expensive hobbies, and I don't know. I'm not particularly I'm not in need of an expensive hobby. As it stands, I'm in need of a replacement to my expensive computer because I can clearly tell that it is slowly degrading and unhappy to be around. Also, hi, Keen. I saw you, but I was focused on wrapping up my point that no one was resonating with. It's fine. I hope you're doing well. Got the contract assigned ASAP work now on the 8th. Only got access to their profile on the 14th. Profile same day gets unverified. Have yet to hear back. I had something like that recently where uh we had a contract that got pushed through, and someone like forced it through like faster than normal because the salesperson alleged that the station wanted to like start it immediately, which is like abnormal. Like normally, like if something comes in the middle of the week, they'll just kind of like round it off to the next week because of the lead time required to get that set up. Like by the middle of the week, like it makes more logical sense to just like let them do it a week later. Um, and so like for some like this was really odd. This happens very rarely, and they were just like, yeah, like do it now, do it this week. And like I contacted the station, they're like, Vasco, like we're not ready for this. Like we haven't even decided we want to do this. I'm like, how did the salesperson derive like we have some interest in this to like drop everything and like make sure that they're doing it? Like that person would be on my list of 3. It's the person who did that. They're responsible for lots of problems. Also, they're the one associated with the service that's been giving me a lot of trouble for most of the year. There was a really bad one at the start of the year that like is kind of a net neutral now that we finally put out all those fires. But there's one that like we've had like a way abnormally high number of people signing up for it, and people are super bad at launching it. So it has caused me a great deal of stress. Me when I replace my fragile flesh with the machine, only to discover that the machine also decays. Yeah, I no longer have a mouth, and my Sound Blaster card must exhibit emotion or something. Am I right, Zacula? For sure. Oh, good. The automated announcement is still working. It took a minute. Salespeople lying and overpromising. Yeah, it won't surprise any of you who understand the crux of Keen's message because you have also dealt with salespeople. That our salespeople are also exactly that. They are precisely without variation the stereotype of salespeople. The vast majority of salespeople I've worked with in any capacity in any job I've ever had have been exactly the stereotype of a salesperson without variation. It's actually shocking and upsetting to a shocking and upsetting degree, which is shocking squared plus upsetting squared or something. But commission. The word so this is really frustrating in particular is that like yes, but commission, that's the whole thing, right? But like it is habitual for our sales department to not terminate contracts in accordance with their contracts in the hopes that like they will get commission for an extra like month or something on like their active contracts by just like not taking responsibility and like canceling things when like people cancel them. And like god, that offends me on like every level. It's like it's so many types of dishonest, and it's selfish, and it just like harms like me and the working relationship I have with my stations because they get upset that like we're not doing what the contract said. It makes me so upset. Just oh, I cannot imagine being that kind of person. I want to do crimes. And speaking of crimes, let's get back to a game you might know and love, and or love. It's the case of the Golden Idol. It is full of crimes. It is a game full of crimes. It is also a game full of death and inheritance to varying degrees. So the case of the Golden Idol so far largely appears to be the story of the titular Golden Idol that was discovered by like 2 quarreling explorers, one of whom killed the other to have possession of the idol. And then we kind of just like followed their descendants, it seems, as the idol continues to change hands over time and bring nothing but death, destruction, and misery in its wake. The Game with the On Fire guy. There you go. That's the one. The one with the art style that looks like this, and also that one puzzle that really, really made me upset. And one of the things that's so frustrating about that puzzle, the one that was at the very end of the stream last time, is that like it's not even like necessary to like complete the section, but like it's like part of the puzzle, and you're playing a puzzle game and you want to complete the puzzle, but then it's just openly misleading. So I've decided to chalk that up to the extreme worst part of the puzzle game. It's really difficult to balance a puzzle game so that it doesn't have like some spike in nonsense at some point. But I'm hoping that if there are any other, peaks in that graph, that they aren't so brazen and just outright dishonest. That is very tilting to me in a logic game, because in a logic game it is really important for facts to be presented correctly so that you can actually complete the logic. If you incorporate lies in the base logic of a logic puzzle, it definitely becomes a lot less fun to play, is my summary on that. Sarah observes it looks like it says Joe on the idol. I definitely see what you mean. It's not quite Joe, but it's close enough that it could be like an ancient script for Joe. Also, remember, all the faces are very unpleasant. That's true, they are. So let's summarize the timeline, I guess. I don't remember anyone's names, which hopefully that's not important. So as I said, this whole thing started, one dude pushed another guy off a cliff so that he could just take the golden idol. It seemed important. Then that guy died of horse wounds. But he left in his will the idol to one of his family members. He like had a will that included like 2 family members, like a business partner and something else, I think. Or no, 2 children, like a nephew and like a business partner, I think was the deal. But like one of those dudes, this guy here, he got a book of aphorisms instead of any like inheritance of value, and so he like plotted a scheme to steal the golden idol. And it turns out the guy who got it knew how to use a turn a guy to fire parentheses bad spell, so it went bad there. That guy died for sure. Then the guy who had the golden idol was like, I don't know, traveling or something, but like some secret like order tried to like, I don't know, just steal the idol from him, but he fought back and got killed in the process. And then, well, I don't know, was the order or the organization or whatever, I don't remember, but it might have actually just like said in here that like the guy who like wrote the letter, who that like sent this dude to go hunt the gold idol down, might have been from EC, whatever his name is. Because he ended up with it at the dinner party. The dinner party is where we ended off last time, where like the family sort of got back together, but like someone tried to poison the current possessor of the idol, and instead his sister, I want to say sister, maybe aunt, I don't know, I'm a little murky on the details. She ended up perishing instead. She drank some of that stomach tonic. Are we hanging things in the menus, bonus things? I mean, like the hanging things appear when you complete certain levels. They're kind of loud. I turned down the sound effects from last time. I could probably stand to turn down a little more. There were a couple like sound effects that seemed like really loud and annoying. Yeah, they don't seem like they add terribly much. It just seems like they're a little flavor or whatever. But like they each have like a little cutscene. What was this one? maybe in the hindsight, like, these things will tell some, like, secondary story. Anyway, it's time to start a puzzle. We're here at, like, the 32-minute mark. Boy, it looks like that is maybe not a good boy, huh? The cursed inheritance, the explosive events in the forest cabin. You know, the dog explosion.
Did someone say birthday?
Oh, sorry. It sounds like someone said birthday.
Ole!
She's a mermaid trying to seek the golden idol to bring back to Poseidon as currency. You know, that seems like the most likely event, the mermaid. And to be clear, I don't know if I missed if there was an actual question as to why there was a mermaid, but like the bar where that guy got murdered for the idol, it was called the like something mermaid or something. It's actually your birthday soon on the 3rd? Zacula, that's important information. I should write that down in my copybook, but I'm currently streaming. Hold on, I'll put it over here. Wow, the music feels like it kicked in. It didn't feel like it was there the whole time. It probably was. Okay, let me look at this, like, saddlebag thing. Henchman. Okay, so as a reminder, if you're new here, this game is a little different from others. You look around and you need to find like little bits of information that are what you can use to like fill in a synopsis of like how did someone die, and like usually other interrelated logic puzzles. So if I click the names Billy and Cracker individually, then I get they get added to my workbook. They're under my face. But if I say Little, I already picked up Billy, but like Hardy, Abe, and Jack Nails, then that all goes, you can see those. There you go. No one here is from Maryland, right? Correct as far as I know. Okay. Henchman for hire in the Timberbrook region. Billy Cracker, Oakwood Gang, Brawler Robber. Hardy Abe, Burkham Workhouse. Man, she's built like a Burkham Workhouse, you know what I mean? Brawler has cart, will travel. Little Billy, Hobbs Gang burglar, enters through chimneys. I mean, buy me dinner first. And then Jack Nails, Timberbrook Inn, burglar picklock. Picklock? Not pickpocket. I mean, obviously you can lock pick, but I don't traditionally hear it described as a picklock. Box of confectionery. That's some good music, by the way. Okay, I appear to have a worksheet about hats from, like, a kindergarten class. I don't know why, but I do. I'm sure that will be important. It's not clear why. Let me go inside. This guy's probably seen better days. We've definitely seen this guy before. Is he one of the inheritors, or is he the for some reason I want to say that this is the guy who murdered the dude at the mermaid hotel. I don't know if that's right. A key.
His name is Sutsugamushi.
Oh yeah, help me out if you could. I'm trying to remember who this guy is. I think Sutsugamushi is someone else though, to be honest.
Kim Kitsuragi.
Hold on. This guy's got 5 shillings, 3 pence, and they're just gonna throw him in the furnace? No. None of those quite sound right. Keep going. Hold on. I do not care what means you use to acquire what I need, but remember to be discreet as always. Note that I do not want it too decayed. The more recently it has died, the better. Okay, so the fact that this is an unscrupulous note from EC does make me think that this is the same guy who, like, murdered the dude at the inn. Because he had a really similar note then. But he doesn't want it decayed? That's, like, not ideal. One of the old workhouse geezers croaked yesterday. I will arrange for a cart to move the corpse if you send me directions. And be quick before they bury him. I do not want to dig up that stiff. Buy me dinner first. What are we doing? If there's ever a game I want Basco to replay, it's Disco Elysium just so he can see other paths and outcomes. It could happen. Scarecrow in a wooden coffin. I still feel like we're due to like revisit Unavowed. Because I think that like also kind of has different paths to it and also is a really good game. And I don't feel like I need a third reason, but there you go. Everyone, you are not to visit any village or city without permission. At no point may you disclose the location of the cabin. Mr. David Gorin, you are in charge of all security and arms. Mrs. Lucia Smith, you will taste any food you cook before it is presented to me. Little Pip, you are in charge of Black Bestia and Golden Doubloon. Are these like One Piece pirate ships? Both must be fed daily. Well, one of them's the dog, for sure. This one's probably Golden Doubloon unless the name is ironic. Edmund Cloudsley, that guy. EC, you know, EC. So what's interesting here is that these three are names of staff from the house in the last one, the dinner party. I think it was David Gorin is the one who was like, he will come and go at night. Like, nobody talk about it. No one complain. Like, he's just gonna... His business takes him out at night. This little Pip. Go, coin, go. Go, coin, go. Is coin the dog? I don't see a coin, like, going anywhere. By the gods! What was that? Gentleman robber strikes in Westbrook. The infamous gentleman robber, Walter Keene, with a number of unnamed associates, held up a coach on the southern road leading out of Westbrook. The scoundrel robbed the passengers of all their valuables, kissed a young lady, and then left. This is already the fifth robbery by the infamous gentleman, who, as his custom, appeared wearing an impeccable suit and a new hat in the latest city style. The reward for catching Walter Keene has been increased to £100. Of what, I ask, continually. I like that she just has a whole newspaper. Okay, look at the dog. I don't know what I expected. I guess what I expected was like a shilling and 3 pence, to be honest with you. It just seems like practically every character is like a small amount of pocket change, and for some reason I anticipated the dog would as well. It does kind of look like this dog got attacked by like like a hedgehog or something. Ah, I feel like this is what I look like. Is this the character I most look like? So many characters have ruby rings. A wrapped piece of confectionery. Hang on. I got the word stabbed from a sword, which I don't think is how that's ever exactly worked before. That feels a little weird. That dog is a soul's boss. I believe it. Oh! Oh, it's, boy, it's a lot in here. That's weird. I can zoom in on that and, like, not have any meaningful interaction with it whatsoever. Hey, did someone say birthday? Is that because this is how you would celebrate your birthday?
Ole!
There's actually a boss in Elden Ring that's a ginger dog. I don't immediately recall that one. I've seen, like, basically a full playthrough of Elden Ring, so I kind of know what's up there. I mean, the thing, like, I think the thing I'm supposed... I guess this is probably for solving the think puzzle. It just doesn't have any words to it. But I mean, the door was blown inward, not outward, right? Like, that's the thing. It's the boss before Renala. The The name is familiar. I feel like I'm pretending like I remember enough. Shard of a vase, that's cool. What's this guy's deal? What a strange place for a nap, huh? Loaded pistol. Oh, this guy's got a whole book. Oh, he's got spells. This guy knows spells. Or I guess he knows not spells, because he's like, this spell didn't work. After I aimed at the sealed vessel and activated the idol, both air and vessel disappeared. Upon further consideration, it was an obvious mistake. Attempt 2. With this input, it was a definite improvement. It decreased the amount of air, but curiously still did not create a complete vacuum in the sealed vessel. Gold filtering. The target must contain some gold for this to work. Seawater is a suitable target, for example. However, a great deal of seawater would be required. Why is this seawater not underlined? A great deal of seawater would be required for this to yield any significant amount. Perhaps I should try it on a ship in an open ocean. First step, get gold by aiming at target. Second step, aim at an empty vessel to retrieve it. Well, the third step is actually profit in that case. Unknown effect 14. If the implications of this are what I surmise, this could be a tremendous discovery. The next step is to progress from fruit to some more advanced organic matter. I must ask David to fetch me a dead body for further experiments. This is vitally urgent. Spontaneous combustion. You cannot combust the target if you have not performed the freezing beforehand. The speed at which heat is increased appears to be influenced by how strongly I press the trigger and how long I have performed candy cane before it. Freezing. Observation. Observation freezing? Or is that one term? It's written weirdly. No, observation. Freezing the target rapidly can create curious side effects. For instance, I should be careful when freezing water in a sealed bottle. It exploded and glass shards flew everywhere. Safety notice. Upon pulling the trigger, if the glyph input is meaningful, the idol will perform the intended action on the target it can see. If its eye is red, it is ready for candy cane input and will turn blue afterwards. If the eye is blue, you can only perform candy cane with a dot input, and it will turn red afterwards. Okay. Fruit. A rotten apple and a green apple. Not a big rotten apple kind of guy. Okay, this guy has a tattoo of knitting needles. Set of lockpicks, a saw, loaded pistol. So I'm guessing by the fact that this guy has lockpicks means that he's the picklock. I finally have the location of my target. Meet us on November 10th, Friday, in the Timberbrook Inn, and bring us all your tools. You get your share as we agreed. Andrew W.K., party hard. Okay, we're missing exactly one clue. And it's on this guy. A club. Well, I don't want to be a part of any club that is used to kill a guy after exploding a room or something. Okay, cool. That's all the TV there is. Oh, interesting. There's like a lot going on here. Okay, so this guy is the lockpick guy. The bottom left corner guy. So let me go back to that document. That's Jack Nails. That guy, that's Jack Nails. Give me a second. Jack Nails. Okay. This guy, I should remember his name in theory because I hypothetically wouldn't have played the game like a week apart. Chet is discussing the merits of bell peppers. Isn't it true that, like, green bell peppers are actually the same bell peppers? They're just, like, underripe. Like they're not different peppers. Boy, there's... Okay. So this is Lucia Smith. For the reasons that I recognize her, and also she's the only woman here. This I assume is... Well... Billy Cracker. How can I distinguish from... Oh, I know how I can distinguish from who's inside, which brawler has a cart or not. The guy with the candy has the cart. So the guy with the candy is Party Abe. And that's this guy with the mask, isn't it? Okay. So that makes this guy the other one. Shut up. Hold on. Billy Cracker, I think? I presume he is the brawler by the fact that he has a club on his person and no other possessions. Did somebody already make an Andrew WK joke? Yes, immediately upon reading the note, but I'm glad that we're on the same page. The same note page. Listen, I think that the dog is called Golden Doubloon because... So... This guy says, go coin, and then... It says, Little Pip is in charge of Black Bestia and Gold Doubloon must be fed daily. So it suggests that, like, Black Bestia and Gold Doubloon are animals, so this is probably one of the two, because, like, he's unleashing him, right? So it's probably an animal in his care. And... You know, doubloon is a coin. It's like a weird nickname situation, but I think that tracks. But so like that. So what? I'm a little confused. There's like Little Billy and Little Pip, but I don't... I mean, I think that's Little Pip. That seems strange to me. Oh, I didn't look at this. It is set to... Ooh. Small weight is tied to the pulled down lever at the back of the idol. It weighs 16 schmeggins. The eye is red. It can do a J, but then becomes blue. Vacuum 2. No, that's not right? Because it's J, not other J. Not dot J. Turn blue afterwards. Yes, computer lag, my favorite. A single player game with like no graphics. Guy curled up on the floor covering his ears as me when someone plays an AJR song. I mean, this guy... So he has like the Edmund Cloudsley sort of logo on him. This is just supposed to be far enough, like enough time has passed that he like looks older and different. Or is this a different guy? I mean, he had the idol, so it would make sense for him to have all the research on how it works. Who's the dog going after? I'm gonna say this guy is David Gorin? Even though I think we had like an alias for him before, like it makes sense for him to be David Gorin because he's like a sinister errand guy. He's like an odd job for Edmund Cloudsley. I'm gonna make the educated guess that I think this is like an aged Edmund Cloudsley, and I think it's gonna say little Pip is wrong. The identities are not filled in correctly. So that's more than 2 wrong is what I understand from the past. So I'm gonna try... Okay. That's a little troubling. I didn't think it would be that far off. It's probably those last 2. I feel like... Pretty sure about Jack Nails and Hardy Abe. I think Billy Cracker's probably correct by extension of Hardy Abe being correct and them having similar identifiers. I'll grant you that this is a bit of intuition. I could technically see this as Little Pip or Little Billy, but I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be Little Pip if those are distinct entities. I don't feel like I know that much about the Walter Keane. Okay, so I gotta solve the... Yeah, we gotta like chance a scenario on all these like sigils or whatever. Apparently. That's kind of not where I thought this was going, but that's where it's going. That's a good place to start here. Simply did not work. I aimed at the sealed vessel and activated the idol. Both air and vessel disappeared. Can I combust the target if you haven't performed the freezing beforehand? It does seem like the dot candy cane does look like anti whatever. Like if you compare freezing and spontaneous combustion, the sigils are the same. One has to come before the other, but like one is fire and one is like the antithesis of fire. So like it suggests that like lantern busted triangle is like project heat or something like that. Increase heat. And then the dot could be like don't increase heat. But what is just the Green Lantern symbol? The like circle with the line above and below it. How does it connect these multiple things together? So Candy Cane, Green Lantern T, like the entry here suggests that this guy thinks he can do a Frankenstein with that spell. I just don't like the look of this flask here. First, absorb water like a super soaker, then project yellow liquid into a cup. I mean, yeah, it's a natural biological function, but we don't talk about it. Target must contain gold for this to work. Don't gold. I mean, it's like hourglass Sharpie, like project gold? Oh, I see. You could put any blue or gold in these spaces, whereas like the names have like a consistent brown. These can be like an action or a noun, so it can draw from two different things. It's kind of weird. I mean, it kind of feels, just given what's available to us, I kind of feel like, I guess it'd be, is it candy cane? I think candy cane is increase, and like dot candy cane would be like decrease. Squares are only in vacuum 2, I think. What's the T there? Definite improvement. Decreased the amount of air, but curiously did not create a complete vacuum. Aimed at the sealed vessel and activated the idol. Both air. So the Green Lantern symbol could be like exist? Could it simply be matter? Is it a vase-specific spell? One more hour. Are you working Friday again, Zacula? I thought that was a permanent shift change. Increase object heat? Have something, I guess, matter? I guess it's... I think it's matter. Not sure, though. That would make this air and this, like, heat? Okay, great. Not necessarily as complicated as I thought it might be. Kind of expecting the game to be messing with me on that, but reasonably straightforward. Boss basically begged me. We had unexpected ton of reservations for today. I guess that makes sense for a holiday weekend, huh? Probably like a bigger influx than usual, coupled with coworker vacation. Is that coworker on your tar list? Does that mean that tonight is like inaugural scooter time, or have you already been able to scoot with the new scooter that you possess yourself? Scooted to work, of course. Delivered a... Delivered a... coffin? Something exploded and killed them both. What did explode? The vase. The vase exploded. Meanwhile, blank. Blank the amount of blank in a sealed blank. You do get tomorrow off. That's like a reasonable trade. I mean, what day of a 3-day holiday weekend would you most want to work if you had to work one at a hotel? Is there an obvious answer to this? What is this guy doing? So I think she's reacting to the explosion. This guy's feeling the explosion. It seems like he kicked the door in or something. Yeah, I think this thing is supposed to be a coffin, even though it struck me as like a wheelbarrow to begin with. So, like... So Edmund Cloudsley needed a corpse. I think this is aged... I think that's him, isn't it? It means I've definitely screwed something else up, though. Plug it back in. So Edmund Cloudsley needed a corpse. He wrote it in his diary or whatever. Under Apple. The implications of this are what I surmise. This could be tremendous discovery. So this is like increase object like life force or something. Could be the sideway T. Sideway singular. Shut up. Friday before. Everyone's happy to have the long weekend, excited to be on vacation. It's busy, but everyone's in a good mood. That's a good point, because everyone has something to look forward to. Having to check everyone out has to be worse, yeah? I'm gonna go to the game store tomorrow for a box of noise marines, because I need their parts for stuff. How... I don't know that I know this, Agula. What percentage of your appreciation for Warhammer 40,000 is the, like, painting and preparation of the miniatures versus playtime? So I don't think this is extremely relevant in the short term, but it may lead to, like, may hint at something for, like, a future chapter. So Walter Keane, this guy, this fool. What's the location of my target? Meet us on November 10th, Friday in Timberbrook Inn, and bring all your tools. So this guy was hired by Walter Keane, but I don't know anyone here to be Walter Keane. Mostly painting. Playing is fun, but I really like painting. That makes sense to me because I didn't have the sense that you were, like, in particular, like, building to, like, a point cap deployment or something, and you were, like, really trying to get that done for, like, play reasons. But hey, I hope you enjoy your Plastic Men. My mom has tasked me with putting together a list for my upcoming birthday. And so I was doing that, and then I remembered something that exists that I want that is very frivolous that will probably show up on stream. Something I don't know was, like, ever actually available in the US, but is not all that expensive to retrieve through, you know, the internet resources. Do you think that the horse is the other, and like Black Beauty or whatever, Black Beast? I mean, it's not a black horse. What's the deal with the hats? The hats haven't really mattered at all. It's got to be a subtext here, huh? So his hat kind of looks like... I don't know, man. It almost looks like a newspaper fold-up hat with a price tag. No, I've not sent you a list yet. Regrettably, like, everything is inconveniently from separate sources, so there's not a good way to... I haven't spent the time to put it together, but I have been working on it. It's like one really expensive card that I want. Well, like, really expensive. It's not like some of the ones I talk about sometimes. But like an expensive card for my Nicol Bolas deck that I've wanted for a while and not wanted to spend money on. Was kind of hoping it would go down in price and absolutely never has, so I give up. A particular weird plush. At least one Pokemon plush. I feel like I want to make a pass to make sure that there isn't more than one that I would want that I don't already have. I think there was like one other thing. Okay, so blank suddenly blank blank. Meanwhile, blank blank increased the amount of air in a sealed. Sealed what? Is it the vase again? Oh, this is one full name, huh? Edmund needed a corpse. Someone, along with accomplices, delivered a coffin. Okay. That seems really misleading. Couldn't that basically be any individual in the group could fill that space? If it's just like one name along with all the other people who did the same activity. Like, isn't that fairly interchangeable? I really don't think I can like fill some of this out without sorting this out. I'm not clear what I've done wrong here, however. No, hold on. I guess the hat that most looks like the picture is this. Is that meaningful? It's not the hat that guy has. It's none of these hats. What's going on here, by the way? This kind of feels like a rough detail. The door and the latch. Where, like, it's kind of clear to me what mechanically it's conveying. But, like, it feels like they had to, like, add this because the scene wasn't, like, reading without this, like, awkward thing. What's this thing? One of the workhouse geezers croaked yesterday. I'll arrange a cart to move the corpse to you if you send me directions. I don't care what it takes. Be discreet. Note that I do not want it too decayed. The more recently it has died, the better. So he's the one who needs the corpse. That's pretty clear. Lag again. So, what I hadn't really stopped to consider until now is that, like, it seems like this coffin should have had a body in it, but it didn't. It had a scarecrow. I don't know if that's... Well, the word scarecrow seems to be gone, although I think it was here before. So I guess coffin is probably the correct word for what was delivered, even though the contents of it are a scarecrow. Upon entering blank, suddenly blank, but like, I guess this is the guy. He suddenly got shot. Some guy suddenly shot him. Is there only one gun here? No, there are two guns. I don't know who this guy's target is. I also still don't know. Jeez, look at this guy's face. Look at how his face does what it's doing. I call him fingers, but I've never seen him thing, you know? But this guy, he faces. Bad face. Ah. I'm gonna go back to the brawler robber. I mean, I feel like I have the right idea here that, like, the guy with the cart is the same guy who has the cart candy on him. So that would make the guy with the mask Hardy Abe. And Jack Nails should be the guy that has the pickpocket tools. I think this is supposed to be Edmund. I feel like that's deliberate, that he's like wearing the Edmund Cloudsley mark. He looks a little different than before, but like I think we're just supposed to accept the passage of time by the nature of how this all works. These are not holding correct. I don't know what I meant. Like, it's just so much of this is names that, like, without the names, it seems really tough to figure this out. Remember the joke from the Pluto episode of Futurama where the guy is like, your butt is nature's pocket, and then later he says, don't let anyone pick your pocket? Yeah, no, I remember this episode. It also has this joke I really like that, like, I've never known anyone else to care about, where, like, he says, like, a series of, like, mildly shocking things, and this, like, group of people keeps, like, gasping over, like, every single thing he says. And he just, like, he has a, like, they go to, like, the North Pole or like, a weird, I guess it's Pluto, right? They go to, like, a nice place, and they're, like, trying to save penguins that are there for reasons I don't remember. And, like, once they, like, get involved with that, they, like, learn that, like, something weird is going on with the penguins. And he, like, tries to explain it to everybody. And then, like, he ends the speech with, like, and also the males are laying eggs. And then, like, some woman, like, gasps and then faints, and then, like, someone, like, rushes to her side and says, this woman is over-gasped! It's stupid. It's dumb. I mean, what's making me crazy here is, like, this is another case like the last one where I feel like charge of security and arms. Does that mean that this guy is supposed to be Goran? Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Because, like, he has the most weapons on him. Unless you count the saw, in which case it's a tie. Psycho says, I still think the best episode of Futurama is the Slurm Factory. I definitely think it's the Holophoner episode. That's just like an exceptional episode of television. Like some of the subsequent like faux series finales have also been good, but that's like one of the best episodes of television I've like ever seen. It just like does everything correct. It's very impressive. So I mean, it definitely seems like this fool got... Well, I don't know. Maybe he got clubbed. Maybe he got clubbed and not shot. He doesn't have an exit wound. It's a little hard to tell from the amount of detail we have here. But, like, if we're trying to, like, revive him or something, like, having a gunshot wound might be an issue. Let's put clubbed there. Increase the amount of blank in a sealed blank. I mean, don't get me wrong. Slurm Factory episode is excellent. I mean, it is also very good in the sense that, like, it is a parody of a beloved thing that is effective at being funny and, like, relevant to the source material, but also, like, distinct and unique in terms of what it's bringing. It's not just sort of pointing and laughing at the existing thing or whatever. Okay, does anyone know... Does anyone already know the thing that I've failed to understand here? It's the idea that, like, because this guy has the mask, he's... Walter Keane? I could try that. So maybe you're David Gorn? 2 or fewer slots are incorrect. So then let's try this as Little Billy then. Because I think that's the cleanest no. So then it's probably the dog, eh? Or no, it could be 2 slots. It could just be one name is wrong. So it could be... I find this annoying, but less so than the last one, which felt like a very brazen misdirect for no value. But like, to me, it feels clear that the intent of giving that man one piece of candy is to indicate that the cart belongs to him, and then he is like not the guy who possesses the cart, and that is like a little annoying to me. So then, is this guy not Billy Cracker? Is he Hardy Abe because the cart is here and Billy Cracker simply isn't here? Is there a reason to think that Billy Cracker isn't here in particular? Not like, not super especially, but I'll try that. Okay, not... No, all I'll say without trying to be hyperbolic or nitpicky is, like, I don't feel like this is nearly as clean as, like, most of the puzzles we've had so far. Where, like, it introduces, like, a bunch of characters and, like, the things that distinguishes them are, like, murky and, like, there's deliberately, like, multiple characters it could be without, like, super clear indicators that, like, help tell them apart. Like, it's not clear to me why Walter Keane is here, but I guess that's like probably a big part of like what entering. Walter Keane suddenly clubbed. I mean, so clubbed, like David Gorin is the guy who got clubbed. Blank and blank entered the room. So that's... Face exploded and killed them. So that's Hardy, Abe, and Jack Nails. Those guys got exploded by a vase to death. They exploded to death. Yeah, of course. Blank, along with accomplices, delivered coffin. I mean, because he possesses the wagon, I'm gonna say Artie Abe along with accomplices, but again, I feel like you could plug in like 3 or 4 different names and technically that sentence should be correct. What's the best episode of television ever? It's a really hard question. I mean, for one, it kind of depends on exactly how you define that, because like there's things like anthologies that like are more inclined to have like a single high impact episode, you know, something like a Twilight Zone or a Black Mirror or something. A lot of people really like I think it's called The Constant from Lost, like almost certainly the best episode of Lost, really good episode of television. Chicanery from Better Call Saul, excellent episode of television. There's got to be like a standout Game of Thrones episode that doesn't just like immediately come to mind. I have to assume that the best Better Call Saul episode is Chicanery. I don't really know of one that's like super close. Like I like that series and like there's a lot of good things going on in it, but like I don't know how you beat that episode for individual one. A lot of people say Ozymandias Breaking Bad. Can you remind me which one that is? That's not The Fly, right? I think that one's called The Fly. Or am I mistaken in that? I know a lot of people like that. I'm not sure if that's like necessarily high in contention, but it is an interesting episode. Train. Blank suddenly club. Blank who clubbed a club? Who did a clubbing? And only one guy has a club. Is that as simple as it is? This lady seems to be reaching for her pizza paddle. Someone increased the amount of blank in a sealed blank. Okay, I definitely think that this is base, particularly because it says the blank exploded and killed them both, as if the story had already established the vase was part of it and not like a new thing. Ozymandias is the one where Hank gets shot. I don't think I remember all the details around that, but I can see, I'm sure that is highly dramatic, that particular episode, so that would make sense. BoJack has a few. I still haven't watched BoJack Horseman. It seems like something I would like, and I've heard good things about it, but like everyone like constantly warns me that that show is like hyper depressing, and it's like, I gotta tell you, since 2016 happened, there haven't been a lot of times where I'm like, I'm gonna take on a mentally taxing television show for recreational purposes. You don't also have a club. I mean, only one guy has a club. So I'm gonna say Artie Abe clubbed David Gorin because he possesses a club. I don't see any other like specific club. Andor Season 2's entire back half is some of the best TV. Alright, let's not get dramatic here. Oh boy. So, like, it seems like so, we're talking about magic here. It seems like this is an Edmund Cloudsley special. Is there, like, a reason why it says 16 on the weight that triggers the statue? Yeah, increased air is what we're going for. Increased the amount of air in a sealed base. Okay, great. That was it. I do think that the blank lung with accomplices is interchangeable because it feels weird that as entered, Hardy Abe did a thing and then Hardy Abe did a second thing. It's just written weirdly. Anyway, I guess it's good that I don't remember those characters' names because most of them are dead now. To be fair, Mando's mass market slop after season 1. Are you looking to start a fight? What's happening here? Like, honestly, I would take like 5 more seasons of Mandalorian rather than one Andor, like one additional Andor. Like, it knows what it is, and its characters are like rational and don't infuriate me. Like the character writing on Andor is so inconsistent, particularly Andor. I was really annoyed by how the Boba Fett show basically devolved into a bonus season of Mando. Everything about the Boba Fett show was ill-advised. And I say that as someone who would like more Mandalorian. It doesn't make any sense that it became like literally like canonical Mandalorian. And like as someone who likes Mandalorian, I still think that's stupid and doesn't make sense. They made a lot of weird bad choices and then just, I don't know, are trying to pretend that didn't happen or something. Okay. Scroll has been fulfilled. To gain entrance to Edmund Cloudley's secret forest cabin, gentleman robber Walter Keene pretended to deliver a corpse to Edmund for his experiments. On entering the cabin, the robbers ambushed the servants, and Edmund locked himself in his study. While the robbers were sawing through the lock. Okay, I didn't track that, but that makes sense. He had the saw. It just looked like the door was being opened in a more forceful fashion, but I think that's just like an optical illusion because of the explosion of the vase. The show had his name. But I mean, like, okay, this is like a serious, consistent problem with the Star Wars TV shows. They're not overall extremely popular, and so, like, I don't feel the need to spend a lot of time on this, but, like, for a long, you know, like, after they did the like new trilogy episodes 7, 8, and 9, they started making the Disney Plus Star Wars TV shows, and like Mandalorian was first, and the first season most people liked, and like I feel like people were largely into it until we started doing Darksaber stuff, and then it became a little more contentious, and then that last season like a lot of people really didn't like, but like a consistent thing that like almost all of the Star Wars shows does wrong is that it will title the show after a character, and then that character is like the worst part of the show, or the worst written part of the show, or like the least important part of the story of that show. It's weird how consistent that is, but like Book of Boba Fett like has as little to do with Boba Fett as possible. Ahsoka, like, most of the other characters on that show are more interesting than her. Obi-Wan, like, somehow mostly about the Skywalker siblings and like some random Sith characters who hadn't existed before. I didn't watch like the Jedi trainee show that like disappeared immediately. Invincible's always had solid season beginnings, middle eps, and enders. I mean, I watched the most recent season of Invincible, and I like that pretty consistently all the way through, and I've liked mostly all of that series to date. I have to say, the place where they leave the most recent season, which is 4 or 5, like, I liked that series, and then like I have like no confidence in anything to follow. Like, I just have a really hard time imagining them doing what they've set up in a way that's good. It's really interesting. Anyway, so they saw their way in. The robbers, he prepared a trap with the idol that killed 2 of the intruders. Okay, great. We did it. We did all 3 of them. go back to selection. Here's a new thing for all the people who like clicking the pop-ups. And, Sir Coroner, the bandits accidentally set off my master's laboratory chemical ingredients. Why is it... That sentence is conjugated weirdly. What happened afterwards? I managed to fend the rest of them off. But my master, Lord Edmund Cloudsley, got caught in the blast, which severely disfigured him, and soon he died, bless his soul. So is the idea that he's, like, scheming to get the idol? Oh, okay, I don't think we're actually super likely to, like, secretly finish this today, but I have the DLC. I don't know if I think it downloaded. I don't do a lot of DLC. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Number 7, The Ascent. Strange practices of a secretive society. Shh, secretive society. Hear good things about Succession. I hear good things about Succession. I don't think I'll probably ever watch Succession. It sounds miserable. It does not sound like a show I have any interest in watching. Very ambient. Oh, hi. This clue's been added to the thanking panel. Great. This guy's got... well, it's not... It's a little high up to be a tramp stamp. It's definitely something. Tattoo depicts a hand and an eye. Yeah, it does. It does. It does do that. It's got a bag. It's got a lot of stuff in it. This bag's got a coat and a dagger and some ash flared tobacco and a loaded pistol and a... Oh, to David Gorin for reliable service from EC. EC? Wait, the guy who's tied up has a separate coil of rope in his bag? David, the gathering will be on March 14th. To follow our plan, we should be there for at least 2 hours before midnight. Our target will arrive in full costume. Grab rope and weapons. WK, party hard. Do I need to turn down the music? It feels more aggressive here. Sega says, I missed all that, so I'm going to assume everything you said about Star Wars TV shows was true and insightful. Thank you, it was. Super weird. This hat map continues to exist. Clean new coat. A hat. Wait, that hat's on the hat list, which is in the other bag. Sure is. Look at that hat. This is a Hobbit house, by the way. You know what? I'm just... The peaks on this one are a little intense. I'm going to turn this down too. You can let me know how you feel about that. Okay, some footprints that aren't a clue at all, which is weird. Another set of footprints that is different footprints. These are like flat, sort of boot print, maybe? These have like a distinct heel, more like a dress shoe or even like a heeled shoe. So both of them walked into the bushes together, and then they walked out separately. Perhaps there was a roll and some hay. Oh, okay. This is like a cult operation. That's fun. House of Cards. Yeah, there's got to be a really good House of Cards episode. I think I stopped watching at the perfect time. Maybe it's like that last episode of season 2. I think it's season 2, where he like, you know, he ends with that very dramatic like knock on the desk. That's like kind of like an iconic thing. That episode might sort of be like an all-timer. Yeah, Squid Game's Marbles episode from season 1's pretty good. God, are there 5 seasons of House of Cards? I thought I got up to like 4 at most. Brothers wear robes appropriate to their rank. Master, 3 eyes. Steward, 2. Initiate, 3. So wait, what was it was like Dark Hand Steward was the guy from the poisoning party, so he's in rank 2? Brothers wear masks appropriate to their house. Dark Hands, Proud Beasts, Water Snakes. Got some Hogwarts type stuff going on here. Let's Go Eat Some Italian Food is the best and most bizarre episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I think my favorite episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is the, like, poker episode in Egypt where, like, only, like... Oh God, I get them confused. Their names are obviously very similar. The, like, young... Joe is it Josuke or Jotaro? Like when they like go to Egypt in like what is that, season 2 or 3? And like everyone's incapacitated but him, and like this guy has this like perfect like gambling scheme so that like he basically is like guaranteed to like beat the whole like hero team, and then like he just gives him a heart attack by like gambling with such conviction even though there's clearly no way he could mathematically win. Like, absolutely love that episode. Like, it's so dumb, but it like says so much about the character. It's this like weird psychological thing. It's like definitely my favorite one. Which one is Let's Go Eat Some Italian Food? That's obviously Golden Wind, isn't it? I want to say that's like early. Speaking of the... I haven't tried the bear. The bear's not as much of a hard pass as Succession, from what I've heard. Okay, hold on. Oh, wait. I forgot there's like a zoom button that I accidentally fire off every now and then. Masters, I ventured into the Order's mission to reclaim our fire-breathing relic, and with great resolve, punish the despicable enemy. I, with a few brave companions, fearlessly entered his hideout in a remote hunting cabin. But the devil had prepared a treacherous trap, and an explosion slaughtered my dearest friends as we entered his study. Thanks to my sturdy physique, I survived the blast, only to be assaulted by the enemy's lackey assassin warrior, David Gorin, and a pack of bloodthirsty hounds. After an hour of fight, I received numerous deadly wounds, in spite of which I prevailed and defeated my assailants with my martial training. I discovered the enemy's dead body slain by the trap of his own making, but no trace of the relic. I am forced to go into hiding because the government's watchmen are tracking me. Once I have recovered from my deadly wounds and shaken off the watchmen, I will send you the next report. May the Griffin awaken! Walter Keane. XOXO, Gossip Girl. Let's Go Eat Some Italian Food is... Diamond Unbreakable. Oh, yes, that's right. It's like literally just like an Italian restaurant in that small town. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Okay. Weird stuff keeps happening because the food that's maybe sinister, but it all turns out to be cool. Yeah. Like, the whole thing is this red herring where, like, they just assume that, like, something shady is happening in the restaurant, and it's just like, good Italian food, and, like, just stuff happens to be going weird or whatever. That is a really good episode. It's way better than the, like, 2-part thing with, oh, what's that guy's name? The one who's like the self-insert for like the creator of the show. He has the ability to like open up people and literally read them like a book. That was so distressing. I hated that. There's so much to hate in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Yeah, that's right. Rohan Kashibi. Okay, may the Griffin awaken and all that. Hold on, another note. Masters, I must apologize 1,000 times for my absence, but my road to recovery was full of peril and valor that cannot be sufficiently conveyed in writing. Me trying to get a promotion at work. The government dogs and spies chased me tirelessly, and I was forced to seek refuge in Aquitania to recover from my still dire wounds. I finally bested my pursuers with the help of Lazarus Hurst. Does that sound like a real person to you? Grow up. A young resourceful gentleman who I met in a remote manor one dark winter's night. Not only did he earn my trust by stepping into the fray against the villains, but he turned out to be well versed in the arcane arts, of course not yet close to your skills. I have finally recovered and plan to return to Albion. I suggest that Lazarus would be a fine addition to the Order. I vouch for him and will invite him to undergo the appropriate trial. Gossip Girl. Separate note in a separate font. Illuminated Masters, I object to the admittance of Lazarus Hurst to our brethren. I submit that Our dark hand brother Walter Keene, who vouches for him, cannot be trusted because he's a liar and a thief. Well, that would do it. I am certain that on dispatching our enemy, he kept the golden fire-breathing relic for himself. Nothing will move me on this. He must produce the relic, apologize personally to me, and afterwards be expelled from our brotherhood. Those are some strong words. He has to apologize personally to me and then still leave after divesting himself of everything of value. That's how Rocky was like, yeah, this character writes manga and he's so cool and hot. Did he get like a whole spin-off or something? I remember like seeing it on Netflix and being like, I don't know if I care enough about this character to watch a whole spin-off anime about him with his really disturbing power that I don't like at all. Oh yeah, Gravity Falls is excellent. I'm not even sure I've seen every episode of it. I think I have, but like, because I wasn't like watching it on like a streaming service, like I think I watched like the first season in syndication and then like the second season like when it was live or something. Got a whole spin-off show about how cool and hot he is. I mean, I guess if you're gonna make a character in a TV show, you might as well make yourself so cool and handsome that you get a spin-off where you get to show off how cool and handsome you are. Okay, a clue's been added to my clue panel. Man with house on back. Man eating peas with no mouth. I have no mouth and I must peas. Fish house. Obviously fish house.
Not sure what blowing on that will achieve.
Well, I mean, it's hard to blow on something when you don't have a mouth, you understand. And then this one is just, I think this is like a Sears catalog, because this took place like a long time ago. Prepare to receive what you have earned. Okay, that's the lion mark, and one eye is one eye master? That doesn't actually make sense, does it?
My wetware's dried up.
Wait, why is someone's wetware dried up? What happened? The last part of the pic. I don't follow. Oh, you just mean... You're not into this? This doesn't do it for you? It's kind of like when I say that like I'm in better shape than I've been in a long time. This is kind of still what it's like. It's a little like this, which is regrettable. So hold on. Oh, okay, no. Initiate is one eye. That does make sense because otherwise you'd have to like remove brands when you increase rank. That doesn't make sense. More referring to the dude being tortured. No, I mean, that seems chill. Hold on. I have signaled to Griffin who I am. I accept my fate, whatever it might be. I don't know who this guy is. He sure is. He has a unique face. Member of our order has proposed a new candidate to join our brotherhood. Our brother's trustworthiness, however, has been challenged. Therefore, we have decided to take measures to resolve the fate of these individuals. If brother proves himself, he can vouch for the newcomer. The newcomer survives the appropriate trial, he will join our ranks. You are summoned to join our gathering on March 14th and fulfill your role in the rights of the Brotherhood. XOXO Council of Masters. Okay. Oh, hold on. Inception. You must endure the tests of snail, fire, water, leaf, administered by Proud Beast Steward. Yeah, this is a Proud Beast guy. Evaluation, you must endure the tests of grass type, fire type, time, and water. Transition, you must endure the tests of star, fire, water, snail. And mission, you must endure the test of snail, time, water, star. Okay, I'm gonna come back here because this room is confusing. Okay, added something. Hey, look, it's Manny Calavera. I think that's the correct. This is the guy from Grim Fandango. There's a lot going on in this room, huh? Done when an accuser has challenged a defender. Both drinkers must be barefoot. Okay. The substance is added depending on the severity of the accusation, including deadly poison. I haven't seen the substance, but like it would probably help me puzzle solve here, huh? Add substance to one of the cups. The defender chooses first. The accuser chooses the remaining. Both partake of the wine cups. That's, I mean, I don't know, that's like a great way to solve differences if I can level with you. They are both barefoot, though. I'll say that. You like Cronenberg? I don't even know. I am not certain whether I've seen a Cronenberg movie. I don't know. Maybe? I don't specifically know. Ritual of Squabble. Only initiates can be defender and accuser. Okay. The sword must be borne by any dark hand. Required decorations of the Hall. The Grim Reaper. The Never-Tiring Teacher. The Feeder of Mouths. Ritual of Conflict. The accuser must deeply hate the defender. Sword must be borne by any initiate. Required decorations. Never-Ending Teacher. Keeper of Treasures. Mirror of the Soul. Okay. Oh, it's just a lot. There's a lot. 2 cups on a stone altar. They contain some wine, but are almost empty. I have to say, I feel like a coin flip is not a sound basis for like resolving legal matters. Although I think I'm biased in the sense that I lose coin flips at a disproportionate rate. Watch 2 if you like them, then watch the substance. I don't know, I feel like at some point, if I'm interested in watching the substance, I might just watch the substance and then reverse engineer from there. It seems like a lot of work to commit to watching 2 movies to maybe watch 1 if it's not like specifically like a trilogy that I know I have interest in. Hold on. Ritual of Dispute. The scepter must be borne by a water snake master. Required decorations. Keeper of Treasure. Never-Tiring Teacher. Grim Reaper. Ritual of Discord. The houses of the accuser and the defender stand behind their brothers. Scepter must be borne by a master. Griffin has spoken. Silver tankard with some red wine in it. Okay, so like not specifically meant to be like the treasure keeper or what have you. Griffin has spoken. Guys, the Griffin has spoken, as it turns out. Retrieve the small vial of unknown substance. Yeah, that's definitely a ceremonial scepter. And that's a sword. Ceremonial sword. So this is like this mask is for like the proud beasts. Oh, and I bet if we go back and look at those like 3 like the Drogdor symbols and like the 3rd scene, the like inheritance with the burning guy, I bet those like probably correlate to these, even though they're not like the exact symbols of the order. I get the sense that maybe that's what we're looking at. I'm still missing 4 things. 4 things. Oh, actually didn't flag those. Now he's red. Okay. Red. Red. Everybody's red. Where would one go to find more things? Game lag. So, I could be mistaken. I'm getting the sense that each of these 4 rituals described here are like a specific subset of like the challenge ritual. Like all of these are challenge rituals. It just depends on the circumstances as to like which ritual is used. So if we look at this symbol, like the blue thing with a dangling blue thing off of it, it suggests that these are like the decorations of the hall. So one of them is like hanging key, one of them is book, and one of them is like the Grim Reaper. So I'm gonna say the never tiring teacher is probably the book. Grim Reaper might be the Grim Reaper, if I had to hazard a guess. And the Keeper of Treasures is probably the key. So we're probably looking at the Ritual of Dispute, if I had to venture a guess, which strictly speaking I do. Oh, I absolutely abhor the look of this. This looks awful. Okay, hold on. So, yeah, Ritual of Dispute. Can we dispute? I think this is dispute. And this is like initiation? We have a fancy name for that? Probably do. It's probably in... No, where did... Is it on, like, your person? No, you have, like, a note that's, like, heads up. We're having a drinking contest upstairs. I mean, this guy's gotta be Lazarus Hearst. I mean, as fake a name as that is, it seems to correspond to the appearance of this guy. So I'm gonna say... You are Lazarus Hearst. And this guy... maybe not. Is it possible this guy is Lazarus Hearst? I don't think so. Someone say drinking contest? Why, yes, Sniper Justin. Although, to be honest, it's some creative license being taken there because in reality, what we're describing is the ritual of dispute, where 2 people have a disagreement, and then a third party poisons one of 2 cups, and then they just choose the cups, and they see who dies, and that person is wrong. And that's how the whole thing goes. Really not. Oh no, hold on. I get it. These are supposed to correspond to... Yeah. Okay, I understand. So man with a house on his back, that seems like snail, yeah? I gotta say, I feel like that 4th one is kind of like time, but it's not. The House of Fish is like water, so that doesn't narrow it down. So it's like fire or time? And tree or star? I'm gonna say... Yeah, well, this is really carefully constructed so that, like, realistically the only options are, like, inception or admission. I want to say that this is admission, though. Like, this definitely feels more like time than fire. After 10,000 years, you're free. I'm glad other people say that and not just me. Have a good scooter time, Zacula. I guess you could equate the stars to seasons in a certain manner of speaking. I'm gonna say... Wait a minute, do I... These are the things that I am missing. I've done it. I figured it out. I think that this is the ritual of admission. I think that this guy, he's a proud beast master? No, wait. I guess it can be any master. Is red proud beast? So this guy in the bush, he is an initiate of Dark Hand, right? That makes sense. Dark Hand initiate. So I mean, yeah, this guy is a Dark Hand initiate. Oh, great. He's the only thing in that box. So, yeah, that works. That's good. Oh, it's raining hard, so it's going to be a wet scooter time. That's really regrettable. Oh, well, that's not the button I meant to push, but... I'm not exactly happy. I was going for sound effects, so I could find wherever I put...
I might get wet down there.
That's what happens on scooter time sometimes, you know? So... I mean... I do I don't know for sure, but it does kind of feel like Walter Keane did maybe steal the idol. A dozen times. Lazarus Hurst. The thing is that, like, the idea is that Lazarus Hurst is actually a fake name. Or maybe not a fake name, but is a fake person. Is being used as an alias by the person in the right of admission. How do we feel about that music volume? I turned it down, but it's still not nothing. So wait a minute, if we look at Scepter must be born by Water Snake Master. That tracks. I kind of like Blue Mask for Water Snake. Which should mean that this is like a Water Snake guy, Water Snake guy, Water Snake guy. You should be Water Snake Master, I believe. And then only stewards or higher rank can be defender and accuser. Okay. Okay, so we're saying that the white robes are master. So this guy is a something master. Okay, and this is master. Got it. So only stewards or higher. So since these guys are both not master... Oh no, steward is... No, initiate is lower. So initiate should be... Let me double check that, but I think... Lag again. Yeah, initiate is lowest. So if they have to be steward or higher to be part of the ritual, that means that the, like, diamond trench coat outfit is steward, which means the, like, red robe is initiate. So now I just need to figure out. I mean, I feel like this be Proud Beast, and this is Dark Hand. Okay, so that would mean that Dark Hand Steward, Dark Hand Initiate, Proud Beast Master. 2 or fewer slots. Is it not Dispute? Did I get something else wrong? Water Snake. Steward. Dark Hand. Water Snake. Initiate. Is it really not Dispute? Hold on. This is a Proud Beast. Steward. That's definitely not correct. Because this isn't Lazarus. Is it David? Is that the idea? That David left the note that led him to get here with the stuff where he ambushed that guy? Because, like, he's not Lazarus. I don't know if the guy out there is Lazarus. Wait a minute. So I have both of the ritual names wrong? Really? So this is Inception? I mean, this is another instance where I don't love this, where it's just like, there's every opportunity in the world for these to, like, cleanly line up to this, but, like, so we're saying is definitely Inception, right? Snail I get. Guy moving slowly because he has a whole house on his back. I get how that's Snail. I don't know why we would depict this in this way, but I get what we're going for. The second one is supposed to be fire. Can you help me out? How is this fire? What about man with no mouth who must peas? What's saying fire to you about that? Anyone? Anyone have any idea? Spicy? It doesn't look spicy. Also, his reaction doesn't look like it's spicy, does it? Like, he looks really like... He doesn't seem distressed or having really any emotional reaction. And then the third one is Fish House, which is water, but that's the same on both of them, right? But then... Guy in coat versus guy in Speedo. And it's like spring and snow? How is that tree? Like, I admit that, like, star's not a great fit, but it feels like it makes more sense than tree. Oh, the issue is that he's steward, not master. When I first looked at this, I assumed that. Still, here's my issue with this, is that, like, this could be its own puzzle of interest, but it's basically not important at all. The only thing that matters is the bottom line, which then, like, why even include the other puzzle? Go back and look at the other thing. Draws are born by Water Snake Master. The stewards of or higher rank can be defender or accuser. Gold drinkers must be barefoot. Substance added. Never tiring teacher, the Grim Reaper. I don't think that the key is the feeder of mouths. I don't think the literal depiction of the Grim Reaper is the mirror of souls when there is something here called the Grim Reaper. Initiate. So all these ranks are correct, right? So that's a Proud Beast Master. That's Water Snake Master. These are Water Snake Steward and Dark Hand Steward. Water Snake Initiate. Dark Hand Initiate. Beast Master. Does it want a name instead of one of these titles? Is that the issue? Like, I'm pretty sure it's the Ritual of Dispute. Does it basically want me to understand who won? Do I know that by looking? I don't know that it's... let me check. So Jeffrey Sinclair. So it's either Walter Keane or Jeffrey well, I guess... No, that's interesting. Because if it wanted me to put both names, which I could in theory, then it would tell me that I had more than 2 wrong. Fire might be that you can't eat it all and thus must endure the flames of agony. I mean, I see where you're coming from on that, but that's really more of like a riddle than a logic puzzle. Then you find yourself in some like murky blueprints water. Blueprints not like this. But Zacula, were it not for blueprints, where would Hogturd be, you know? So both of them have to be barefoot, so that's not like a clear signifier. They have different, like, colored fur on their wristbands. I don't specifically think I know the house of either Jeffrey Sinclair or the other one, do I? Oh no, our Dark Hand brother, Walter Keane. So then... No, just leave. Just undo. It likes that less. That's confusing to me. Wait, what? Oh, that changed. But that's still... Oh. Does it accept either answer? Or does it... I think it just accepts either answer, which is kind of interesting. But at least this is a way to like soft confirm stuff for the big puzzle at the left I haven't even looked at all, because it's just all fill-in spots. There's just like basically no words in that sentence that don't get supplied by me. To be fair, as someone who made it to Blueprints' end, it's kind of wired in my brain. I mean, that's fair, but like as many things as I genuinely think there are to like about Blueprints, I have pretty much since the beginning, or at least since pretty early on, found it kind of distasteful the way it tries to like make false equivalencies between riddles and logic puzzles. Like, I like both, but I don't like that it does this thing where it like equates the two, where it's like, yeah, just logically think through this thing that involves like an intuitive leap between concepts that aren't connected. It's like those are two entirely separate types of puzzles, and without proper prompting, they don't play nice together. They're pretty opposed, actually. This is really not the Ritual of Dispute. Like, it seems like it has the exact, like, all of the correct qualities. Only stewards or hired. They're stewards, so, like, that fits. Scepter born by a water snake master. Grim Reaper, Keeper of Treasures, and never tiring teacher. That's the book, the Keeper of Treasures, and the Grim Reaper. Like, there's literally no part of this that doesn't seem correct. So, like, that being true, Ritual of Dispute, Dark Hand Initiate, Water Snake Initiate, the two guys, Proud Beast Master, Water Snake Master, like... Am I supposed to know the name of another person in this room that it wants in particular? Like, the others seem interchangeable. What's interesting is it accepts Lazarus Hurst as a correct answer here. But I do think that the full, like, what happened here scroll acknowledges, you know, my interpretation that, like, technically that's not Lazarus. It's just a guy who says he's Lazarus. I'm not sure if Lazarus is real. This blueprint seems like it was made by one guy entirely for himself, without a care about what anyone thinks, and I think that's kind of admirable. There honestly is quite a lot to like about blueprints. I genuinely think that I just really feel like that should have been like two separate games. Like I feel like the house exploration mechanics with like puzzles like directly in the house, like that all like works for me in and of itself, but like when it starts trying to get like really clever with stuff that expands like outside the house proper, like it works internally but doesn't play nice with the rest of the stuff, where like the variance of the game mechanics of like exploring the house and things being different every day, like it stops being reliable in a way I would want that type of puzzle game to be, and it makes it more frustrating. Let me read this to you real quick. Blank blank was blank to a blank ritual. He, along with blank blank, ambushed blank blank. Blank blank, posing as blank blank, blank to blank blank with a blank which blank had no blank. Blank blank blank, the other blank, and died. Meanwhile, blank blank passed the blank ritual to become blank blank. A Loud Beast Initiate past the Inception Ritual. I'm pretty sure this is David Gorin, by the way. Not the blank ritual. I know! I mean, it could be any number of ritual spells from Yu-Gi-Oh! Or it could be like Dark Ritual from Magic the Gathering and generate 3 black mana. This is drank the other cup? Tankard? I guess it's cup, it's not tankard. Jeffrey Sinclair drank the other... It's gotta be other cup. Because, like, he drank poison and died, but you wouldn't say he drank the other poison if the first thing was cup. With the... Yeah, just fire them off. We'll see if any of these fill in the scroll, okay? With a cup...
Sam and Max, freelance police.
No poison. Which...
Shambling corporate presence.
Conflict... Yeah, what word am I missing?
Mimiga, was it?
Not Mimiga. Different guy.
You're Kathy! Kathy Rain!
Oh, hang on. Wait, that's extremely weird.
Everyone's beloved dog astronaut, Space Wolf.
Wait, hold on. Wait, game mechanic fans. Wait, what happened here? Oh wait, I hadn't locked this in. That's what the issue is. But it's the ritual of dispute, isn't it? Oh man. Come on. This is for sure Water Snake Master. This is definitely Proud Beast Master. Definitely Dark Hand Initiate. Not Pickle Rake. Water Snake Initiate. Oh god, I zoomed in at some point. I hope everyone's beloved dog astronaut Space Wolf is in this game. Accuser must deeply hate the defender. The thing is just that, like, I don't see how I could be wrong about this. Because, like, there are 4 different descriptions of, like, 3 things that need to be in the room. And only one of them matches, and it's the one I put in, which is dispute. But as far as I can tell... Is it that someone is posing as Walter Keane? To kill Jeffrey Sinclair? It's like a game of chance. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's a terrible plan. Challenge to, dispute ritual. Key on... So, the guy who was challenged is Walter Keane. This one might be wrong if that's the situation. Walter Keane was challenged to some kind of ritual. Did he, along with David Gorin, ambushed Dark Hand Initiate? Someone posing as someone. Oh. Signal to... Which... Okay. Now we're talking. Someone. Posing as someone. Signal to Walter Keane with a... something. Which cup was... cool. How was this done? Spoken. Ring. Key. It's unclear to me, looking at this room, what was the signal? Ocean says, playing an old World War II real-time strategy game that got released this month thanks to resolving a license issue. The planes you can use doesn't have traditional bombing or rocket damage. It's to fly up, then in a loop dive straight down to drop its bomb. Oh, I see. Killed one against my AA guns as it did its ascent, but it kept its momentum, flew into the camera, like it was going to fly out of the screen. I mean, antiquated technology jump scare. That's like the new hotness for horror games, right? Like, that's why we got all those, like, VHS style, like, interfaces and whatever. Okay, that's interesting. So the ritual is correct, but something else is wrong. And that's because someone here is also someone else, according to this thing on the left. I don't... Like 1,000,000%... I guess someone in this room is David Gorin. And this guy is, like, actually Lazarus Hearst? I don't think it's still... Let me just... So, like, if... So, right now, if we look at the scroll that has, like, the ritual going on, this upper right thing, right? It says that 2 or fewer slots are incorrect, which means, like, at most, like, 1 full name or, like, this. And I was assuming this because I have all the, like, titles, like, the ranks correct, as far as I can tell. I don't think I've made a mistake. I've checked it, like, 3 times. But, like, if we change the ritual name now it suggests that there are more than 2 things wrong. So I think I did, in fact, have the correct ritual. And I think the issue is that, like, when I look at this thing and I start trying to fill it in, what I have so far that I feel good about is Walter Keane was challenged to... I mean, I guess I could put it in as a dispute ritual now, because I'm pretty sure that's true. So Walter Keane was challenged to a dispute ritual. He, along with David Gorin, ambushed Dark Hand Initiate. Oh, so I guess... Yeah, that's the... So this guy is David... For some reason that didn't take. There we go. I mean, I know it's that guy because of his rank, but what did he... I guess he signaled with the tankard? He just, like, pointed with it? It's not something super clever, he just did it? So he signaled... posing as Dark Hand Initiate. I mean, I don't love the fact that that sentence just, like, repeats ridiculously, but that kind of happened last time, too. He, along with David Gorin, ambushed Dark Hand Initiate. David Gorin, posing as Dark Hand Initiate, signaled to Walter Keane with a tankard which cup had no poison. Then, Jeffrey Sinclair drank the other cup and died. Meanwhile, no, not David Gorin, actual Lazarus Hearst. Actual cannibal Lazarus Hearst. After being challenged to a ritual with potentially deadly consequences, Walter conspired with David to devise a plan which would ensure his own safety. They captured a Brotherhood member on his way to the gathering. David took his costume so that during the ritual of dispute he could indicate to Walter which cup was poisoned. Therefore, Walter chose the safe cup and his opponent drank the poison and died. I was under the impression that Walter Keane and David Gorin were not on the same side. I'm a little confused as to why that's happening now. Because, like, David Gorin was, like, Edmund Cloudface's, like, right-hand man. And, like, didn't Walter Keane, like, kill that guy? With pure malice? Are they wearing masks for spooky monsters? They are wearing masks because we were looking at, like, basically a cult, and the masks indicate which, like, Hogwarts-style cult house they belong to. Let's go back to scenario selection, and let's do the crowning celebration by the lighthouse. Man, I mean, why has he gotta look like this? Isn't it possible to not look like this? That's my daily mantra, by the way. How are we feeling about the music? This song seems a little less intense. I can turn it up if you want. Thus, Griffin Reborn revealed himself to his brothers by demonstrating a true miracle. Silver crown with gems. So I'm gonna stick so I can beat this mutant. Someone shows Dracula a picture of Oda's dad. Like it where it is. Alright, I'll leave it. It'd be a pain editing, but at this point it would be a pain either way. God, look at these footsteps. So some guy went both ways. Save it, why don't you? And some individual went only one direction. Gotta have something to do with this, like, beat to death guy, most likely. Crack slaps and hard. It's good stuff. Oh, his arm is broken. And both of his legs. and like a little bit of his face. Water snake master. Okay, that's, I mean, it seems really formal and informal at the same time. Lately I have experienced disturbing dreams and I feel cursed. Brother Sane, are you the source of this with your magic? Desist immediately and know that when pushed, my rage is absolute. Do not toy with the well-being of the Empire's general, for I do not tolerate being attacked. In my many voyages, I have learned the dark arts too. If need be, I will summon 1,000 invisible demons to crush your bones. Well, yeah, well, I know how to make that stew that blinds you for just one day. Take that. Dear friend, it is not so simple for me to get you a seat alongside me on the court of directors at the Seven Seas Company. As a doctor, I recommend you to stop obsessing over it. It will only unbalance your humors. I know what that's like. Let us discuss alternatives at the next party at Kensington Palace. All of them seem like great party invites. Hi, Critwitch. They do. I agree. Like, so many of the documents in this game have, like, engraved formal invitation energy. This guy's, like, scepter or whatever got busted. Is that part of the T? This man is not breathing and has a severe wound at the back of his neck. Sorry, at the back of his head. It was locked from the inside. Hold on, there's a box over here with rules? Love me some rules. The one who claims to be Griffin Reborn must perform a miracle. If someone repeats the miracle, it is proven it was not a miracle, but mere magic. That's actually really funny and interesting. I can do something supernatural. I can do the same supernatural thing, idiot. Nothing special about magic. Hope you're hitting the weekend doing well and hope the weekend recharges. Thank you. I am in desperate need of a recharge. I hope you are well also. I am excited. I'm going to see the Mandalorian movie with my mom tomorrow. I've been really looking forward to it. So if you try to do a miracle and someone just proves it's magic, you get dead. You die. If no one can repeat the miracle, the masks fall. Words fail. Sandalus prays. Claim it is crowned as Griffin Reborn. History. In 1725, the first Dark Hand Lord Harrington demonstrated flying. In 1756, Proud Beastmaster Lord Pledsley performed a seance talking to the spirits. In 1764, Dark Hand Master Lord Jones demonstrated the creation of homunculus. In 1771, Proud Beast Master Lord White carried out the hypnosis of a servant. That's weird that it gave me both hypnosis and hypnotize. Feels like that's heavily weighted. The results of these were Flying Guy jumped off a cliff and died. Ghost Guy, Lord Angus McBain repeated the miracle, proving him unworthy. Lord Jones made a homunculus, but Angus McBain produced a homunculus too. Dude, what a hater. Angus McBain hypnotized the same man as well. Dude, Angus McBain is the McBain of my existence. Seance. Don't worry. I don't think that these guys have eaten any time recently, Zachula. 5 strange looking masks. I can look at that one guy's shoes for some reason. Oh, so to see if they match the footprints. That's rude. It's definitely not bad. Are you kidding me? The guy who went both ways has like a really pointy bit at the front of his shoes. So is this guy, which makes sense because he's got like half of that staff. So this guy beat that dude to death. He's also got whatever this is, a golden snuff box filled with opium powder. It's marked AM because it's a morning treat. Seance and looking at shoes. All right, Zach, I'm gonna hand it to you. That is concerning. Why does everyone now just carry like a list of hats? Okay, hold on. This clue is added to the thinking panel. Dear Master McBain, these threats to contact the Chief Inspector about my past offend me greatly. Being an honest soul, I have no choice but to comply with your base demands. Well, if you don't have anything to hide, never mind. I might have invited Lazarus into our brotherhood, but he has not shared all his secrets with me. Luckily, I had an opportunity to see him practicing this miracle. He has a magical artifact hidden in his cane. When performing the miracle, he input the following glyphs. Increase air. When he presses a small lever on the handle of the cane, it grants him powers to demonstrate the miracle. I have no doubt the staff will work just as well in your hands as his. XOXO Dark Hand Steward. Who's been added to the thinking panel? Yep, the golden idol is in there. Golden idol enclosed within the handle of an ornamental cane. This broke off. Yeah, okay. I understand the subtext of that. But, like, why is... Oh, I see. This is Lazarus McMahon. No, McMahon is a bad fake name because there's, like, Angus McBain. Yeah, right, Zagalo? Because of how honest I am, I have no choice but to comply with your blackmail. Like, if you're that honest, then the blackmail doesn't work, right? Like, that's... Isn't that... Presumably... Isn't that... Miracle preparation. After the decrease air input, aim at sky, press lever to maximum position and hold for 10 seconds. At this point, the idol should be full enough to perform the miracle once. Miracle hypothesis. The water works better, but the effect is not as convincing. Therefore, increase air. The main challenge is ensuring my balance while holding onto the idol. Practice is paramount. Uh-huh. Still have the... Okay. What's your deal? He has a seal with, the Roman numeral 7 on it. It was an actual miracle. Unbelievable. So there is a Griffin reborn. What was the deal with the first Griffin? We still have no idea. What an honor to experience such a historical event. Just a pocket lodge. Pocket lodge. Dear Water Snake Brother Maker, as the director of the Seven Seas Trading Company, I do not assess work applications. Please go through the official channel so my staff can evaluate your credentials as an attorney. Darkhand Master JT. Justin Timberlake is part of this cult? Okay, hold on. Lighthouse on Gull Islet near the Horn of Codhead. Time noon. Angus McBain, Alistair Cook, James Turner, Walter Keane, Lazarus Hurst, Nicholas Maker. Wait a minute. Don't we know a Nicholas Maker? He's like a lawyer or something. Wait, is there still something to, like, check in this box? Did I not look at all of the box? I feel like I looked at all the box. Those just don't stop being yellow. Don't stop never stopping. Okay, some of these just, like, aren't gonna change color. Heavy wooden oars. Oh, hold on, I can go up. By guarding the lighthouse, you guard the Empire. General Alistair Cook. Trapdoor that connects the staircase to the top of the lighthouse, not locked. Parentheses, not locked. This is a weird scroll over here. People who had the magical relic in their hands chronologically. I understand what we're going for. This guy had it first. Well, aren't there 4 steps? I feel like this guy had it first. And then Pointy Shoes, like, beat him to death. But then, didn't he have to give it to this guy? Lazarus Hurst? Because he appears to be the one who did the miracle? Because everyone's bowing to him? Look how obviously this, the Seven Seas Trading Company is to the East India Trading Company. I think it's meant to be accessible. It is a little funny, though. Okay, so hold on. This guy is Lazarus Hurst. This guy is James Turner, right? JT? Or I guess this letter is written to him? Experience disturbing dreams and I feel cursed. Are you the source of this? Just immediately know that when pushed my rage. Absolutely. Seems simple on the surface, but I think it's going to take me a little longer than I want it to. Is this the footsteps? Some of these it feels really hard to narrow down. It seems to me as though the miracle is flying. Am I wrong about that? It feels as though we absorbed air from the sky and then like we like climbed to the top of the lighthouse and absorbed air out of the sky and then like stepped off the lighthouse and blasted air at the ground so that we didn't fall to our death. And no one can replicate it because they don't have the golden idol. And makes it look like we like levitated safely to the ground. We fell with style, as it were. It definitely seems closer to that than any of the other available words, I think. Though, no, he's the one with the book. Why does the blackmail include getting instructions for doing the ritual if the guy who does the ritual just like has the book? Do I know what Walter Keane looks like at this point in my life? I feel like the answer is no. Like, he was in one of the earlier ones, but he had like a mask and was like on the edge of an explosion. None of these guys like obviously seem... Wait, who's the one who has the hatless? That's gotta be him, right? That's how this works? This guy? Is that right? Maybe that's right. Now that I'm like thinking of it, his face is familiar. Was this the mask guy though? I don't remember him having such a dark complexion. Well, whatever. Pretty sure that's him. He's got the right rank. He's a steward. Train time almost over. Scooter time begins again. So you just does the scooter you have like fold up so you can like store it like at work and like transport it through the train station. Yeah. Well, I wish you luck in expediting the process of finding that helmet you were talking about. You just, I mean, you gotta just get a bespoke, like, custom molded helmet. And, like, if you're gonna go to that trouble, it, like, probably should just be, like, a Darth Vader mat. Like, a full head, like, face covering, voice changer, whole 9 yards. Okay. Not this one. I need the history. How do I identify Angus McBain, the world's greatest hater? Griffin report. But it doesn't say who holds the crown. I don't know how to narrow that guy down. Claimant is punished with the... Oh, I see. That's like an axe on like a stump. For some reason, at first I thought it was like a lightning bolt. It was very confusing. See how bad the rain is when I reach the top of the longest escalator in the Western Hemisphere. Oh, I didn't realize you lived so close to that. That's very exciting in and of its own self. Like, all those guys would be dead, so like none of those names would be useful. Oh. Okay. The footprints gave me a misconception here. The idea isn't that we had to take the staff from this guy. The idea is that Lazarus Hurst did the miracle, and then this guy, who's definitely Angus McBain, tried to do the same thing, but like didn't know about the idol or the like symbols and all that stuff. He like didn't know how to use it, so he just like jumped off the lighthouse and died. So then the footprints are actually this guy, Walter Keane, retrieving the staff, because it is the idol and it's valuable. So that means that in order, Lazarus Hurst had it, then Angus McBain had it, and then finally Walter Keane has it now. Fantastic. Which does mean that that's Angus McBain. 3 to go. Loki Docks is whereabouts I live, but my station is the longest elevator in the Western Hemisphere. I just thought you were exaggerating. I did not expect that to dox you. Over 3 minutes to get top to bottom or vice versa. That is a lot of escalator. No two ways about that. That is a lot. Okay, Become Griffin Reborn is like obviously like a thing we're doing, huh? So we're saying that Angus McBain jumped from the lighthouse at... I mean, truly, Angus McBain is like history's greatest hater. He's like willing to subject himself to any amount of danger just to prove that someone else isn't important. I mean, like, what an incredible piece of garbage. It's like, what an absolute dingus. Good night, Keith. Thanks for stopping by. We'll be playing more of this tomorrow. I downloaded the DLC, and assuming I can figure out how to make that work, if it didn't happen automatically, I think we actually still have like a good amount of this to go. Plus, there's a sequel which I've also downloaded. I feel someone find out about a mirror. This one I think actually is a pretty good red herring. Like I said, I feel like there's a very, I mean, maybe I'm giving myself too much credit, but I think that like looking at the state of this scene, it's easy to think that like part of the sort of villainous slant of the scene is there's pretty much always something like that. Is that like someone like went around back the lighthouse, beat this guy up, and impersonated him. Like, we've had stuff like that happening. So, like, you know, there's, like, pushed and attacked and all that stuff. And, like, all of that is a red herring. That's kind of interesting. So, I got myself 3 names left. I'm pretty sure... I think this guy is Nicholas Maker. Am I crazy? Yes, addressed to Maker. Yeah, this is Nicholas Maker. He, I think, was in that the Burning Man scene. I think he's the lawyer who did the inheritance, yeah? Did we know that he was in the... I assume not. I don't think we knew about the brother. So that leaves us Alistair Cook and James Turner. I mean, I've got the... He's a general. Is there anything on either of their, like, personages that suggests being a general? He's got the crown. I don't know if that means anything. This guy's got, like, a stamp. I don't know if that's general behavior. Find out how. Lazarus. Curse. Who's the one who did that? Lord Alistair Cook, Dr. James Turner. I'm gonna say Alistair Cook is the one with the sigil because that seems more like more affiliated with a lord title than a doctor title. Give that a shot. This is a good... I do genuinely... I don't know that there's been a song I've, like, really disliked here. Okay, had it backwards. Not totally sure what is supposed to distinguish that. So Alistair Cook is the... So, James Turner's the general? No, Alistair Cook is the general. Which is the guy with the especially horrible face. I really don't know what... Wait a minute. This is the mark of the 7 C's. So I'm supposed to figure that out by... As a doctor... Yeah, as a doctor, I recommend you stop obsessing over it. That's esoteric, but acceptable. It's reasonably easy to brute force it. I just... Yeah, okay. My local WGN TV news talked about the Mandalorian Grogu movie with the movie follows the unknown Mandalorian warrior Baby Yoda as they go around the galaxy fighting bad guys. Okay. Is there a question in there, counselor? Are you of the impression that I, as someone who stated that I like the Mandalorian, I'm excited to see that movie, would object or disagree with the assessment that they fight a bunch of bad guys? I think even the trailer has like the Mandalorian like say something like, "I'm going to kill all the bad guys on your list" or something. No, more the unknown Mandalorian and Baby Yoda when stating Grogu's name in the same sentence. Yeah, I mean, listen, if they wanted the Grogu thing to happen, I think that they shouldn't have gone with the whole, like, the child angle, because then that just gave the internet license to Bodie McBoatface Baby Yoda into existence, and, like, just nobody cares about the proper name, really. We all know what Baby Yoda is. Like saying Khaleesi in Game of Thrones. Yeah, I think it's similar. I think that's right. Okay, so Spirits, disturbing dreams, feel cursed. You're the source of this? The system media. I'm pushing my just absolutely. Is that relevant? At least I get how this is relevant at this point. The rest of this does not matter, I don't think. Dear Water Snake Brother Maker. As the director of the trading seas company, I do not assess work applications. So here's Water Snake. Dear Master McBain, these threats to contact the Chief Inspector about my past have been greatly. On a soul, I have no choice but to comply with your base demands. I invited Lazarus into your program. It's not sure all the secrets. Okay. So it was actually unintuitively, I guess it makes enough sense. Angus McBain blackmailed Walter Keane to figure out how Lazarus Hearst was going to do the miracle. He's such a hater. So, like, he, like, knew someone was going to try and perform the miracle to, like, become the next risen Griffin and be, like, the cool guy with the giant silver crown or whatever. And that just, like, pissed him off, man. He loves to hate. He knows only hate. He is Allied Master Computer. And so, knowing that, like, Walter Keane sponsored Lazarus Hearst to join the Brotherhood or whatever, he figured he'd be close enough to get him information about it. So, like, Walter Keane gives, like, this faux response of, like, oh, how dare you impugn my character, but I guess I have to go along with your blackmail. And then gave him... I'll look at this again. In performing the miracle, he input the following glyphs. So it's actually... I don't actually know if Walter Keane... He was trying to sabotage one of the two of them, but I don't know whether he actually knew the full extent of the ritual, is the thing that's unclear to me. If he knew how the whole ritual worked, then he just, like, concealed part of it from Angus and led him to, like, tragically misadventure himself. But, like, if he didn't understand the whole ritual, then he gave the information that was available to Angus and that, like, could have derailed Lazarus's whole deal. Okay, so this resulted in Angus McBain's death from a from a did we say head wound? Severe wound on the head. Sure, we'll go with head wound. Not a horse wound. Not to be confused with a horse wound. So blank, blank, blanked. I'm gonna say from the lighthouse another time using the idol to demonstrate the miracle of lying and become Griffin Reborn. So this is merely Lazarus Hearst, yeah. Okay, great. Cool. Oh, look, he's using it like a pogo stick. That's weird. That's weirder than I thought that would be. I guess that makes sense of how it's like controlled to a degree that's like consistent enough for him to do it safely, but it looks very goofy. There's some seriously cartoon clown time stuff. When Lazarus Hearst jumped from the lighthouse and survived using the hidden golden idol, Master Angus McBain thought he had enough information to repeat the miracle and prevent Lazarus from becoming Griffin Reborn. He seized the staff from Lazarus and locked the lighthouse door to prevent foul play. However, he did not know all the secrets of the idol, it did not work for him, and Angus jumped to his death. Oh no, Benjamin Franklin! And also, like a shabby clown military officer? And a pilgrim chimney sweep? I don't know, man. It's a weird world we live in. Well, as tempted as I am to start on the next chapter, which... Wait, actually, is the next one the last? I don't know, it feels like there's actually more here. I kind of thought this might be the last one. Since it's not, I really don't... Since it's implied it's not the last one, I don't know that I feel a strong impetus to push for that. But also, like I said, I kind of want to wrap it up in sort of like this locks next chapter sets until dawn. Yeah, I was just trying to figure out like maybe it would show me a blank page that like demonstrated that there was more after. The fact that there's a next chapter button, this game could try to be misleading like that, but I think it means that there's at least one after 9. Or maybe it has like loaded in the DLC and it just would appear as a new menu. I don't know. It's my first time playing the game, so I don't know. But point being that I did say earlier in the stream that I've got like a little bit of an early start tomorrow, so I can see the movie with my mom that I've really been looking forward to. And tomorrow I intend or expect to run longer, so that's probably going to be the case. I am continuing to enjoy this game a good bit. I like the way that it tells the story over time. I have some like slightly mixed feelings about the complicated nature of the names and like trying to introduce so many characters at once. I get how it makes some of the internal like logic puzzles sort of compelling, but like it also like trying to like work through some of the stuff when the names are so nonsensical could be kind of challenging. Like if it was just like Steve Erickson, I don't know, it might be easier to wrap your head around some of this stuff or whatever. Like I said, I was able to pay more attention. I vaguely understand how the game works. I mean, like every like individual case or mystery or whatever works like a little bit different. Oh, actually, let me turn off that sweet music. Yeah, so like every case like works like a little bit different, but like generally the premise is like you spend some time like investigating all of the scenes available to you and trying to gather as many clues as you can, which take like the form of specific concepts that go into your inventory. And then like at a certain point, like once you've sort of taken in the surroundings and like what's going on, you take a look at your thinking tab and you see like what mysteries the game wants you to solve to progress. and there's usually like some dependencies between different like smaller mysteries, so that like solving one will point you towards like information that helps solve another, up until the point that like the one on the far left is always just like a full description of like what went down here and to some degree why. And yeah, generally speaking, the story is just like following what happened to the idol and whoever possessed it at each point in history. And now we're like pretty firmly woven into the dealings of this like brotherhood thing, which is interesting. I thought they would continue to be a presence. I didn't expect to be so central. Like there's been multiple chapters in a row where like that's like a major important point. But yeah, I mean like there's like, so the game is trying to like have like a difficulty curve, which is a thing that is challenging to implement in a puzzle game. And as a result, it has meant that there's like increasing number of like little details that like feel like they're not always like 100% clear. That last one was actually pretty good. Like I missed the doctor clue that was available, and that was like straightforward's probably overstating it, but I think that's like a pretty direct point to like one of the only things that like didn't come out clear. And I thought that, like I said earlier, I liked the red herring in that last one, where like it felt like it was misleading in a way where like you could definitely work out through logic what happened there, but like I don't know, like there've been like red herrings since like I think the second case might have been the first one that really had one with like the horse wound. But like, you know, a lot of them have been like so like laughably off track that like they didn't seem like a real sincere possibility. I thought that last one incorporated it well, where like I think it's very possible to interpret the events in a certain way that like some of the misleading clues would point you to. But like, yeah, I mean, I really like the way that it presents these logic puzzles. I mean, like, does it make certain things like pretty easy to brute force? Yeah, I don't necessarily love that, but it does definitely make the game like more accessible. So then it becomes a question of how stubborn I am. And like, regrettably, when it comes to trying to demonstrate that I like am smart or understand a thing, I'm like extremely stubborn, like real stupid bad. I think you know this. I think you know this from the first time I played Case of the Golden Idol last week. But yeah, I mean, like for the most part, I like most of what this game has to offer, or has had to offer so far. And you know, like I said, I already bought like all the other Golden Idol stuff that exists, so obviously I'm interested enough to spend money on it and keep giving it a shot. Well, I mean, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully you're continuing to enjoy this. Cycle asks, could Dave Filoni make a Baby Yoda so cute that even Disney couldn't merchandise it? So, I mean, what's funny is like kind of yeah, like I would say kind of yes. In the sense that like compared to the relative cuteness of Baby Yoda, I still kind of think that the merchandise available is underwhelming to like a significant degree. And also, let's not forget the like historic fumble that is like the launch of Mandalorian season 1, where they introduced Baby Yoda and everyone loved Baby Yoda, and the internet like fawned over the new character of Baby Yoda. And there was like, honest to God, like stone cold, dead to rights, nothing. There was like no Baby Yoda merchandise like in the world. Like literally, I got like one of the earliest like available like Baby Yoda shirts, just because like they had like this ramshackle like on Disney premises like screen printing Baby Yoda shirt thing going on for a while. And like that was like one of the only like Baby Yoda things that like existed at all. It's like crazy how much they like didn't expect that to be a big deal. Nowadays, at least you have like your Burger King tie-ins and whatnot. Like at least there's like an effort, but like he's so cute. I don't like, even like the number of like plush toys I've seen of Baby Yoda that are like legitimately cute is like staggeringly low considering how cute the character is. Anyway, that's enough ramble, I think, just to make myself feel better about the fact that we're not under 3 hours. The shake at Burger King scares you. It excites me. It's a cookie flavored shake. It's a very odd color. I mean, it is, but you know, I think it's just like food coloring to match the cookies in the TV show. But like, I get that. It seems like the ingredients are super basic. Why do I know this? Because I've looked it up. Anyway, like I said, we'll be back for more Case of the Golden Idol tomorrow. Most likely delving into the DLC. I do see DLC squares on the homepage of the game. I assume they've been downloaded or incorporated. I don't know. If I have to troubleshoot that tomorrow, we'll be doing that tomorrow too. But yeah, in the meantime, we're going to wrap up the stream. But before we do, keep in mind that somewhere in this room behind me, among my various plush friends, I have hidden some number of secret Squirtles. If you're able to locate a Squirtle that's hidden in this way, it will be an omen of good luck for you in the coming days. So I encourage you to look around and see if you can figure out where a secret Squirtle might be stashed. And we will reveal the locations of some of these Squirtles after you've had that chance. In the meantime, I'm going to have some of this remaining 100% juice apple. So I think I may need you to clarify Miss Puff. Are you perhaps referring to Clefairy as Jigglypuff? They are very similar Pokemon. Psycho says, you would enjoy a YouTube channel called Joe is Hungry. He does in-depth review of new fast food items. Is that the guy who looks really young and always wears a suit and like has that like famous clip of like, my disappointment is immeasurable and my day has been ruined? I don't know the name of that guy, but he's famous. Is that not Mrs. Puff from SpongeBob? Do you mean... Oh, you mean the sailor. Oh, you mean the sailor. No, this character is actually supposed to be like a sentient ice cream sundae that is dressed in the Stranger Things season 3 like sailor ice cream restaurant themed like uniform. Is what that's supposed to be. I believe, if I remember correctly, the name on the tag of that particular Squishmallow is the USS Butterscotch. So it's just a living ice cream sailor. It's amazing, right? Like listen. I'm pretty sure that season 3 of Stranger Things is my favorite Stranger Things season, which I know is an incredibly unpopular take. But it just had the right amount of whimsy and nostalgia for what I cared about, even though the plot was, and it focused a little more on like characters I like care about. So like it's just kind of like a personal choice. But like I'm not like a huge Stranger Things fan, but I saw like the ice cream sailor and I was like, I think I need that one. I gotta have that one, and you know I put it on display a lot. So there's that. Okay, wait, hold on. Did I miss your first guest demolition? Oh, Baby Yoda. Gotcha. Okay. Cool. All right. So, Joe isn't semi-comedy. It's very earnest, very rigorous reviews of fast food items. Kind of funny because he's so strict about his scoring. It's possible I've seen like a video of that in the wild. I know I've seen like a few like fast food reviews like over time that I don't like follow them or anything. It's the axolotl. Let's find out. So that's all I guess is for Carlos and Baby Yoda and Ice Cream Lady behind our pirate. Yeah, okay, I got you. Let's take a look. So behind good old classic Carlos. I haven't given a good up-close view of Carlos in a while. As you can see, he's clawsome. Do I have my camera reversed? I do. But this crab, he is clawsome. Look at him. Not a Squirtle this time, but a much beloved spherical Pokemon, also a water type. That's Spheal. Behind, you know what, might as well bring her out here. This is, I'm going to double check this. Yes, this is the USS Butterscotch. I think that may canonically be the name of like an ice cream sundae in Stranger Things at the whatever the restaurant is. Her hat says ahoy on it. Extremely good. Love this one. Not a Squirtle, another aquatic friend. It's our little manta. I also appreciate that it says ahoy on the hat, which is that is definitely part of the Stranger Things sort of like fake restaurant, but it's just the attention to detail and the way it comes together. I just love it. There goes the hat theme theory. Yeah, I normally try to come up with like one or two potentially misleading themes that aren't the theme, so it's not super obvious. But then oh yeah, we got our have our pirate crab friend who has with her not a Squirtle but another smaller pirate animal friend. This is Hans the porcupine, and this is Kaylee the pirate crab. I have a different Kaylee crab who doesn't look quite the same, but is definitely also Kaylee crab, just not a pirate. So then where are these elusive Squirtles hiding? It's a great question. But we haven't finished revealing the guesses that you all have made. One of them is, of course, Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda, Squirtle. And also, behind... Well, that was bound to happen. Behind Riggs, who we were talking about in detail earlier. This is a character from the video game Cobalt Core, which we played on stream. This is a makeshift plushie. Riggs has the little boba drink he sips on when like times are getting tough in space. Got his little blaster. Got his little earring. Got his little possum tail. So it's really hard to get Riggs to sit good because of the combination of the big giant head and the possum tail. It's like I can't get him to like sort of lean back so that he sits right. But it's just it's a struggle. It's very cute. Yeah, like they put a lot of attention to detail in this as well. Like they incorporated about as many things as humanly possible that they could from the game. I mean, like both the drink and the gun are just like short little animations that play at like specific times, like playing through the game. And they were just like, yeah, these like kind of embody the character. And then you got like the hairdo and the face is pretty perfect. Like it's really good. Like I think Riggs might be her. It's been long enough I don't remember for sure. I know that Riggs had like an evil counterpart. I don't remember if they did any like goofy gender swap teasing whatever. Anyway, also Squirtle there with Riggs because the theme was space friends. Since I'm excited to see the space movie tomorrow, I thought I would bust out all my space friends, which includes Wally and Eve, of course, in addition to Groot and the other friends named. And I threw in Clefairy for good measure because Clefairy is from the moon. But yeah, so that's going to do it for tonight. I hope you are enjoying Case of the Golden Idol. We'll be back with more tomorrow. I think it's a really interesting story and an interesting way of telling a story, and I love a logic puzzle based game. Even if there's a couple of sketchy details here or there. So anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. We should have plenty. Expect tomorrow to go a little bit longer than tonight. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. And I hope to see you again soon. Until I do, take care of yourselves and remember that you are clawsome.